Do you think it's healthy for parents to let out their emotions instead of because I know some parents, they don't even talk to each other after a fight. They just become silent.
Yeah, because they're like you. They don't like arguments. So they just walk away.
So what do you think is better, to like argue what you want to say?
I feel like you, as long as you listen to the other person, if you're listening to the other person,
they're not listening.
Yeah, exactly. If they're not listening to each other, there's no point.
Yeah.
Because if you're not listening to each other, there's no point. It's just noise. But to speak out your emotions and your feelings, that's great. But if the moment that you're not listening to the other person's point of view, it's pointless.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with disagreements. There's nothing wrong with arguments. As long as you're listening and taking whatever the other person is saying, then that's fine.
It's sad though, no, because sometimes they can say negative things about you and you're also listening, and sometimes you listen mostly to the negative things they say about you.
So you're saying that you're breaking out anything else?
It causes your mental health to like
degrade.
Yeah, and it's bad too when some parents, they say negative things to each other, especially. It can really degrade your mental health, and also maybe your kids too, because they're like yeah. Back then I could understand what our dad was saying to our mom and what mom and dad were saying to each other.
Oh, you mean to them, like them? Like, I'm confused. The parents talking back to their child, like, oh no, or is it parents just arguing to each other, like
arguing to each other? And it showed me that's not a relationship you should say to someone you loved and married. You know what I mean? Like, it shows what not to be in a relationship, not to say negative things about them. So that's what I'm saying. I don't care if they say negative things about. Oh, obviously.
Oh, you do, but just not as much.
Yeah, and so it showed me that you're not supposed to say negative things to someone you love.
Here's the thing, okay?
Why?
I grew up watching our parents do that. Mm-hmm. And to me, I guess monkey see, monkey do. Monkey see, monkey do. Do you know that? You don't know what that saying is? That's how you know she's so young. Monkey see, monkey do means.
What does it do though?
When your parent, okay, when you're raising a child, you know why people don't let you cuss in front of their child, right?
So they don't
learn to do that. It's as a child, you're developing, your brain is developing, and whoever is around them, whatever they tend to do, that child will pick up that habit.
Yeah.
So that's what that saying says, because monkeys do the same thing apparently. Mm-hmm. But anyways, like I said, monkey see, monkey do. Like when I saw my parents do that, in my head, a relationship could go on even if it's toxic. Does that make sense? Because our parents have been together for like 25 years? Way beyond 25 years?
Maybe 30.
30 years? Okay, let's just say 25
to 30 years. I don't know. I'm guessing. Why are you asking me?
But they've been together for
You're older than me. You should know.
They've been together for a long time, right?
Yeah.
And they've been arguing together, and that toxicity, that in my head, growing up with that, it meant even if your relationship was toxic, you could go through it because.
But some people can't.
Like you could stay in it.
No, I know, but some people can't. That's why they divorce.
But that's what I'm saying. I grew up thinking that it was okay to be toxic. Does that make sense?
Oh, to be in a toxic relationship.
It was okay for me to settle. That's my key word. Oh. It was okay for me to settle in a toxic relationship because in my eyes, if someone could stay years in it, then I can too.
Yeah.
So that's why.
But it depends on the person.
That's why I stayed in a lot of toxic situations and relationships, just because I saw that my parents were able to do it, so why couldn't I? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, or that to me in my head, it was okay.
Oh, yeah, continue.
Okay, go ahead. Whatever you're Googling.
I was going to go on number 2 for the 10 reasons why family support it.
I hate people that are always logical.
Excuse you for rambling on. Let me have a voice in here. I'm another second host too. Okay. Okay. We have another number 2 for the 10 reasons.
Wait, you didn't even talk about that. The first topic. What was your input? Your input on when parents are like? Oh,
that says family set the stage for future relationships.
Do you agree in that? Like what relationship?
Yeah.
Like friends or?
I do agree because,
What is your example? Go ahead.
I've been in like where friendships where I thought arguing was okay, like a lot. You know what I mean?
You thought it was okay?
Yeah.
In friendships?
Mm-hmm. But it's not. That's That's not a good thing.
Go ahead. Number 2.
It's okay for number 2 for the 10 reasons why family is important. It says during challenging times, people need a family they can rely on. When life gets hard, people need support. This can be an emotional and or financial support. Someone going through rough times will turn to their family if they trust them to provide encouragement and love. Feeling accepted and understood during a personal crisis. Families, whether traditional or chosen, can provide that. Wait, what does that mean? Families, whether traditional or chosen. What does that mean?
Oh, meaning chosen means people are not related to you.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
like friends. Like
That's true. See? This is what you were talking about. They need emotional and financial support. That's what you were gonna say. And that's what family needs.
So like they saying, like when you grow up in a certain family, like whether a healthy or non-healthy family, it will determine whether you are more open up towards people if you're able to trust them. And I completely agree with this because I'm a very non-trusting person. Because my family.
And sometimes, oh yeah, continue. I'm so sorry.
Just in my family, I never felt comfortable enough to open up, and there was
feel understood or accepted.
Yeah, I never felt understood or accepted. So I dealt with my emotional issues, or like
on my own.
I only depended on myself emotionally. Does that make sense? And I tended to push people away because sometimes in this family I felt like a burden. So I would be like at work, I'll be like, oh, I have it, I got it, like, don't bother me, you know what I mean? Like, I would be like, I just will push people away because in my head, if my family is not supportive, like, who else? Like, who can I trust? Like, if I can't trust my family,
who else can I trust besides myself? That's why it's also important to be your number one supporter as well. What?
But, like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about self-love, okay?
I'm talking about, like, I'll become more
guarded.
More guarded, which is a very bad trait.
Setting up walls.
It's very, 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 very,
it's
very
bad.
bad. It's extremely bad.
What? Setting up walls to protect yourself.
Okay, listen. Pushing people away, extremely bad.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Is
setting up walls bad?
Boundaries are different from walls.
Oh, okay.
Boundaries is respect, okay? Setting up walls and pushing people away, very, very bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's people that genuinely want to be your friend, that are genuinely, they care about you. They genuinely care about you. But it's because in your house, you have instincts. And if your house is not healthy, then you will tend to push people away. Yeah. Does that make sense?
I've noticed that during my high school. I think Ate Marj also noticed that for me as well, that I've pushed many friends away. And you know, because I FaceTimed you during lunch because I had no one to talk to.
Look at my hair.
Hey, are you listening to what I said?
Know. I would literally be at home chilling, and then she would text me. She'd be like, Ati, what are you doing?
Because I relied on my family and a sister that I could talk to when I pushed people away during high school. And by the way, in high school, I wasn't really depressed. I realized now that I was in like a hey, that glass is gonna fall. Put that on the dish. Stop. Let me tell my story. I noticed I had depression very much back in high school, and that's why I pushed many people away and I sat by myself during school lunch.
Why did
because
you push
I set up walls to protect myself because of a past friendships, and I felt like I was a bad person, you know. So I was like, I'll just be alone so I won't hurt anybody and I don't hurt myself from relationships that I've made. Yeah.
I see.
So yeah, I can agree. And that's why during that time I was able to rely on my sister even though she was being fucking annoying. She's like, I'm going now, I'm eating lunch, hang up now and go find friends to talk to. Yeah, she didn't care.
What do you mean? Because I guess me and my sister are very, very, very different. Very different. I talk a lot, as you can tell. So I even told this in other podcasts, remember? Like, yes. I love to talk.
You love to talk. And you never get everyone a second to breathe or to put the word in. You're like wait.
Literally, like, if me and her were strangers and she was in the line at Costco, I'll be like, so how was your day?
And I'll be like,
I'm very like I love talking to people. So to me, fake or not fake, like people friends, it wasn't hard for me.
Apple cider?
Yeah, downstairs. I'll get it. But I'll like it's very easy for me to start a conversation. Does that make sense? So in my head, I always thought people were like that because I did have a shy stage, and I realized I wasn't really a shy stage. I was basically look. I was like filling you out. I was filling you out. So if I didn't like you, I wouldn't talk to you. I didn't really. I would have like some people thought I was shy, but it wasn't that. It was like I just genuinely didn't want to talk to that person. And then like a few moments later, when someone that I wanted to talk to, I would be super loud. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand. Anyways, that's our reasoning for what was it? Number 2, during challenging times, people need a that's our
what number 2?
No, I said that was our answers for.
So
number 2.
You're saying because of your family inside, it made you create walls towards other people? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, well, no, I was telling my story that I couldn't rely on. Yeah, I couldn't rely on people outside. I could only rely on my family. Yeah, during challenging times.
This is stating that like your because we all know that family's foundation, right?
Yes.
This is stating that whatever in the house, like healthy or not healthy, it will be your outcome towards your attitude towards outside people.
Are you talking about the question?
Yes. So like let's say on the inside you feel like you're able to open up to your people inside here, right? That will cause you to be more of an outgoing people towards other people. Or let's say inside the house you're very like you can't open up to your siblings. That will cause you outside of the house to be very shut down because you're used to that because you spend most of your time inside the house.
Well, I understand that now.
So that's what I'm asking you. Did the inside your house cause you to act like that towards other people? It's the way how you act now because well you put you know what I mean the outcome.
I can. That's why family is the foundation, and it says
So you didn't answer because you're saying that you run towards your family, but what was your reason? Like, did your family put like was a factor in you building walls? Was your family issues inside was a factor for you to not be able to open up to others? No, because
here it goes. Because when you go through a relationship with other people besides your family, you build these walls. That's why I can trust my family. You know, I can be more open to my family than with people because I've tried making these relationships outside of family, so maybe I could. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to find family. You know, people like other people that could be your family, but that didn't work out. That's why I'm relying on my family.
Do you think
this I know. For myself.
Do you think that? So the answer is no. There was nothing inside the house that made you close off outside. Okay.
Anyways, let me continue to number 3 because I'm fucking confused over it. Okay.
We should know how to open up.
No. Shut the fuck up.
That was my question. You answered it.
I'm so confused. No, shut up. This is why we fight, okay? This bitch bipolar. Okay. Families can be... Okay, number 3 says families can be an essential source of affection and encouragement. In good or bad times, family provide affection and encouragement when a person needs to be content. It can be difficult to find friends or purpose in adulthood. If a person has a strong family, they'll always be able to find the love and support they need. Yeah. And then this is on the other side. If a person is not getting love and support from a family structure, they'll feel lonely, depressed, and even hopeless.
Okay, do you think that because of our family, it's harder for you to create relationships outside your family? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes. So you think you're inside... How so? Go ahead.
How so?
How so? What inside this household made it more difficult for you to create relationships outside? Because now you are growing up into an independent adult where you need to be social.
Because of you. Because of you making fun of me and bullying me. That's why
make fun of you.
That's why I've been like this, okay?
I don't bully you.
You did in high school. You bullied me. You're like,
I encouraged you to talk to people.
No, you said you have a big ass mouth. That's why you can't make any friends.
Because you do have a big mouth. That's what
I'm learning, okay? Trying to shut my mouth.
Very good. Progress is very good.
Okay, continue. Bitch.
Oh, anyways, so what this number 3 is saying, emotional. I don't think our parents were very
affectionate or encouragement.
The way you said that. Because like you said, growing up in the Philippines, we're Filipino if you guys didn't know that.
You're Chinese.
F you, okay?
Hey,
But-
what's wrong?
I'm just saying.
No, actually, no. We're
we're like 1% Chinese.
I thought we were a quarter.
Oh no.
I know. Who said that?
Daddy, but daddy doesn't know.
Oh, Dad doesn't know. No,
Hey.
but our grandma was half. No, she wasn't.
No.
She was a quarter.
No.
She was a quarter.
She was a quarter. We're like, what's a quarter of a quarter? 16?
What?
What's a quarter of a quarter?
25. What are you talking about? 25% is a quarter.
Okay, split that again. What's 25 of, what's half of 25?
Oh, maybe like.
Who cares? Anyways, we're 1% Chinese. And then, what was I saying? Oh, growing up in the, our parents grew up in the Philippines where survival was key, right? So they didn't have time.
Survival.
It was. It was. Okay. They lived in the jungle. Anyways, survival.
Our mom did.
Yes. So, they didn't have time for, to take time to make sure that their kids were able to have, like, for emotional support. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody were to come up to them and to our grandparents even, because our grandparents, like, our generations, were like that. Like, it was all about surviving, right? None of this nonsense emotional, because to them, if someone would be like, oh, I'm depressed, or oh, I'm lonely, that's like now a sign of weakness, or like you're abnormal, or you're not strong. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. It makes sense.
Like really, we don't have time
Excuse
for
me.
this BS. You know what I mean? To them.
They heard me burp. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
So, or I need a hug. That's like a sign of, it's not technically a sign of weakness, but like pulling anything
They don't
away,
like that.
pulling anything, or like making it a scene, for those things. To them, it's like, it's very little. It's not important. So why are you making a scene out of it? You know what? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So growing up, that's how our grandparents were raised, and that's how our parents were raised. So it's very strange for them to like sit down and make time for like emotional support. It's like, they're like, why
should this be important to you?
It's like,
to our relationship. They don't understand how to make a good relationship. You know what I mean? Like I've seen our titas and titos, and they give fake hugs. No, some of them are real hugs.
that's very different, because a lot of them don't know you.
Huh?
It's very different. It's what she's telling us, because they don't know you.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, but Tita Mercy. I mean, and you know who.
It's very different because they don't know you.
Yeah.
So, but we're talking about parents, because aunties and uncles, that's completely different. Like, their parenting,
They're still family. You know what I mean?
they're family, but their parenting towards their parents is something else. Towards their kids is something else. But
what I wanted to say was that oh, continue.
no, like, I think you understand. Like, I feel like a lot of immigrant parents and children that came from immigrant parents understand what I'm saying. Like, they came from here from a different country, and it was all they knew was survive. Like, they only have survival instincts. That they didn't have time to sit down with you and, like, let's say you're bullied at school.
And, no, they didn't have the time to learn about those. You know, I think that's why society is kind of better now, because we're able to teach people how to love and how to give support.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in isolation from the city or from the public, like, basically you're living off on the island. Of course you need those to survive. You don't need the huggies or the kissies, because that is for mental and physical strength on how to survive, basically. Mm-hmm. You don't need the hugging and I think why now emotional support and encouragement is important nowadays is because we're having relationships with other people, or we're going through something that we're having a difficult task with, like especially with work or like people. That's why we need encouragement and love, or like getting on through the day onto, like, you know, like that. That's why we're learning how to have encouragement and love by people.
I see. Like, the older you get,
but because people are living in a foreign country, in a survival world, they don't need encouragement and love. They only rely on strength, physical strength, and mental
Well,
strength.
they need it, but I feel like they push it away. Like that's why their mental health themselves are not very good. Like their emotional support, which is why they create relationships and marriages that don't have a lot of emotional support. Because, like I said, monkey see, monkey do. So our parents, their parents didn't have a very like emotional like connection towards them.
Mm-hmm.
So they grow up wanting to get a spouse who is financially stable or has like that go like that financial stability.
Work hard, grind hard.
Like that grind mentality. So they no longer cared about any emotional connection. They cared about, is this person that I'm gonna marry able to take care of myself and take care of my children? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they grew up with that. They just installed that. Like it's very like emotional support was not a thing. So
anyways,
it like for them, like even like a parent who doesn't have any like they themselves didn't get any emotional support cannot give that to their child. It's hard.
Yeah, that's why we need to start it now, to start a chain reaction. So for our later generations, they can have love and support.
Exactly.
That's the amazing thing now for our new generations, because we realize what we need in a household.
Exactly. So,
yes. But it's kind of sad because right now some families, they're still continuing that traditions, you know?
Yeah. But like I was saying, you cannot create a house without love because it's going to be very difficult. If you don't have love, it's hard for you to have love. Does that make sense? Or to give love.
You can't find love if you don't have love, you know? That's what people say. That's what people say nowadays. You can't be in a relationship if you don't have love, you know? Love for yourself and love to give.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Our parents and grandparents was not given like that emotional support, so they weren't able to give it to our.
You already said that.
To our parents.
Yes, you did. You already said that.
Okay, whatever then.
And by the way, guys, I don't edit this, so you know how many times she repeated this shit.
I have to make sure everybody understands.
They understand. They need to hear more topics. Goodness.
She's a very tech person. She's a computer science, so all she does is stay on the computer.
I'm not, okay? And what she does is keep repeating. That's the thing that irritates me. But anyways, for number 4, it says families foster a sense of belonging to something greater than oneself. Families are hubs of tradition. Many families carry on traditions through the years by sharing stories from the past. This creates connections with family members that aren't around anymore. And it says they'll pride in being a member of a community that gone through the hardships and triumph. I feel like that's like mom.
What do you?
I know because what you mean. Do you know where mom talks about her hardships? Yeah, in the Philippines, and she tells us. I think she's very proud of that. And she tells us many times whenever she's like, I work harder than you guys. I work
But here's the thing.
And I'm like, Mom, that's an amazing story. She's like, I immigrated here and it was so scary. I think mom has so much pride and proudness in herself. And I'm proud of her too. Like, I feel like I want to imagine me moving to Japan in a foreign country. I want to be like the mom. Mom had such big courage, but I think she had help.
She had to.
Yeah, but she had to.
She didn't have a choice.
But that's like big, you know? Like, can't you realize? Do you think you like, I think if you were in the Philippines, do you think you have the courage to come here and like change your whole life?
Let's flip that. Let's say I'm going to the Philippines at the age of 26 right now. Yes. I mean, it's gonna be difficult, obviously, but then
it's such an amazing journey that how someone can come here and move here, you know? I don't think we realized that because they were in that position. It probably was scary for mom, because mom was scared when she came here the first time. She's like, oh shit.
MJ,
what?
You can't cuss.
Okay, I can cuss. I bleeped it out last time.
Okay.
Anyways, on the podcast, if you guys know, it says explicit. You can put explicit content.
Oh, okay. Very good. Anyways, yeah, I know. She always tells stories like that, and I feel like she does that to basically push us. Like, why are you sitting on the couch? You know, I had like 5 jobs. Blah, 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 blah.
And mom told us she climbed a tree.
Oh, in the Philippines, I feel like everybody climbed a tree. There's
Well,
mangoes
no,
there.
not that.
Well, a majority of people have.
Okay.
Not a majority of people were fortunate enough to have a father that was in the United States Army. That's, especially if you're in the...
Dad's not in the army. What are you talking about?
No, our grandfather was in the army.
Well, I know that.
That's what I'm saying. His father was in the army, so he didn't have to climb trees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's why I'm saying sometimes people, whatever, it's true what number 4 says. It says that families are a hub of tradition. So whatever nanay taught mom. Oh, by the way, nanay in Filipino means
It's mom.
So yeah, our grandmother.
She likes to be called nanay,
Yeah, our grandmother.
not Lola.
Our grandmother had traditions as well, and that's what mom has brought in this household. And I'm feeling like we're kind of different because we're Filipino, of course, but will we bring
Our
specific traditions? Are you gonna do a debut for your child?
Absolutely.
For me, I do not know.
I think it's up to them.
Yeah, it's up to them. But yeah, it's
The first child, no.
number-
The first child
number-
needs to have a debut.
number 4. It says that traditions are a connection, and it brings us like pride in our family, especially like debuts. If you guys tell them what
a
a debut.
debut is when a Filipina turns 18. It's almost like a quinceañera.
Yeah.
So for Mexicans, it's 15. For Filipinos, it's 18. They become a woman. So it's basically a big party. 18th party. Yes.
But yeah, I could see why that they say traditions are very important, and I can agree with that. Anyways,
What's your favorite Filipino traditions?
our favorite Filipino traditions. What do we do? Let me think about that.
Chanelas in the head.
Chanelas in the head.
Oh.
I love lumpias.
That's a food. That's not a tradition.
That's a tradition.
Did you want it a debut?
I did, but I don't have friends, so I could never do anything about that. I think it was never meant to be. Anyways, this is what you were talking about for number 5. It says people raised in a close family develop healthier relationships throughout their lives. That's what's number 5.
Oh, absolutely.
5 says, yep, that's what it says. It says researchers learned that men who grew up in nurturing families developed stronger relationships than men who didn't have accepting families. They managed their emotions well and maintained a closer connection with their partners.
Suppress. That's the word I was looking for. A lot of people in our families, they learn how to suppress their emotions because it wasn't a priority. Like our parents.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Were you talking about
suppress?
Number 5?
Do you know what suppress means?
Yeah, holding back.
Yes, that's what. No, that was like a long time ago. What I was trying to say.
Oh, for one of the questions?
Yeah, like
I like how you brought it up. But
yeah,
like
suppressed. They suppressed their feelings and their emotion support because it wasn't a priority.
But anyways, number 5 is very important. That's what Ate Marjorie said earlier on in the podcast, which I told you, Ate, we could have answered these top number 5 reasons with your answers, but you already said it in the beginning.
Very good. Because we don't got time.
That is very true. I kind of want to keep these podcasts short, but I don't. Are you surprised that people edit their podcasts? That's a lot of work to edit.
I think it's a personal opinion. Option.
For me, if you guys haven't noticed, I don't edit these podcasts. We go straight on. We keep continuing.
It's up to you.
Anyways, but yeah.
And I'm not so very surprised because people edit their videos on a daily basis, so I'm not surprised.
I know, but that's so much work.
Again, it's a
choice. I know it's a choice. Anyways, you will listen to this.
It depends on how much quality you want. Anyways, onwards with the questions.
And onwards to number 6. Family relationships are linked to a person's mental health.
Absolutely.
And it says right here, there have been many studies on the importance of family time. It says specifically dinner time.
That's quality time.
I know. Dinner time. Actually, that is very true. Dinner time is like the only time you will meet with your family because you guys are all eating and you guys are like either done from work or like done from school. Sometimes though, your parents are probably not home because they work overnight. So yeah. But it says here specifically dinner time. While families can still be healthy even if they don't eat dinner together every night, there is a correlation between this time together and a young person's well-being.
Wait, go back to number 5 or whatever. What does it
Number
say?
5 about people raised in close families developed healthier relationships throughout their lives.
Do you agree in that?
Yeah.
You have examples?
I think I like how, well, to me right now, I feel like I'm very close with my sisters than ever before, just because we're older now.
Mm-hmm.
And I like having families that are close together and open, and get to spend quality time. I like that. And I feel like that's like healthy.
Yes, I believe that a healthy household really produces healthy people.
Relationships.
Yes, and just healthy, like, sociable people outside of the world. It really depends. Like, your inside household is your output of how that child is gonna, like, be in the outside world. Do you agree?
I agree.
Absolutely. Okay, next.
It says, okay, number 7. Here we go. Quality time with family is linked to better academic performance.
What?
Apparently, kids who eat dinner with their family less than 3 times were likely to get C's or below in school.
I don't understand the correlation to that.
I don't know it. I guess it's saying have more better quality time because you will improve your grades and your mental health.
I feel like grades is really up to the child. Like I said, I was a lazy student. I hated school.
No, if you're having, I feel like, no, family is definitely in the way of like your routine in school. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. Because if you're feeling negative, if you're having like a bad day or a negative way with your family, or like having, what's it called, an argument or a fight, of course that will affect your schoolwork.
But this is talking about dinner, though. That's what I'm saying.
It says quality time will
Oh.
will link to better academic performance.
Oh.
You didn't listen to the question. Anyways,
Oh.
number 8 says families teach important life lessons. What do you think about that?
Absolutely.
You think they teach important life lessons?
Yes, exactly. How to not suppress your
Suppress your
emotional
emotions,
feelings. Yeah.
That's number 1.
Mhm.
And family will also teach you about keeping your family safe.
Oh yeah, and
Strict.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll be really strict? It depends.
I feel like we're not parents, so when we wanted to go out, we just couldn't understand.
But
why
now
we
I'm
couldn't
very
want to go.
my dad has raised me and made me
Look at those little chips.
became stop. Why are you so rude? My father has made me very paranoid of the world.
I know.
Yeah, she's.
You see monkey.
Wait, give her the example like of that one time when I told you like you were gonna get like kidnapped or something.
Oh yeah,
that one story when that one thing you were like, oh look at this, and I say, oh be careful, you're gonna get kidnapped. I told you.
There was a lot of times.
Oh yeah. There was a lot of times I told you that she was gonna get kidnapped. Oh, you were saying you were gonna go on a date, and I was like,
yeah, I was gonna go on a date, right? Or no, I think I was in the car. I was already in the car, so I was like chilling with my friends, a guy friend, right, inside the car, and then MJ goes, "Oh, be careful! He might kidnap you. He might home traffic you." I was like, wait. He was a really close friend, and I've been in his car multiple times.
It doesn't matter.
I felt like our grandmother was very paranoid, and she passed it on to our father, and then our father has passed it on to you, which is very sad.
And it says here, okay, let us continue because this has been a very long podcast episode. Number 9, families teach values. That's very important. That's what you also said.
Morals.
Yeah, morals and values. It's so weird because people have different morals and values,
Of course.
In other different families.
Interesting.
And it says, okay, number 10, healthy families form the backbone of a healthy society.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. This is what you said, right? In the beginning of the podcast that you repeated like 5 times.
In the house, that's because if you're in a crazy household, you don't come out in the world crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You might not know it, but you're crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, like I was saying, I think it was the 9th one.
Oh, the 9th one, families teach values?
Yeah, they teach values. What's number 8?
Healthy. Families teach important life lessons.
Okay, these are so useless.
She's like, go back to number 7, to number 6. I'm like, girl, I already told you.
But okay, let me.
Anyways, basically, Auntie Margie already wrapped up all the information in the beginning of the podcast.
What do you think about mental abuse?
Oh, it's very common.
from your household.
Oh, very common.
What about if it comes from a parent?
It's very sad.
Like, have you ever felt this? Very common, very sad. No solution.
I didn't say that. There's no solution. It's just like, I don't want to do that to my child, but I feel like, I don't know. I don't have a child now. I feel like they'll accident. Do you think people do it on purpose or accidentally?
Oh, absolutely.
On purpose.
Sometimes it's on purpose, okay? Sometimes they need to know.
She does it on purpose. She mental abuses me.
No mental abuse.
Okay, continue.
I just feel like parents just like they be coming out with like hurtful words, but they just don't realize what that can do to a child. Like if they say that they're useless or they're dumb or they're stupid or they're not gonna go anywhere in life, that's gonna really affect the person in the house, and it'll make them low-key depressed, and it might actually happen. They might become a bum or whatever, you know. They won't like thrive as high as they would have if you didn't give them that mental abuse. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like MJ doesn't like to go on these deep ass topics. She'll be like, no, let's just read the list. And
I do want to give a deep ass talk, but you keep talking. You wasted a whole hour of you repeating, like 10 minutes. I noticed 10 minutes of her repeating the thing, like, you need emotional encouragement and support. Our grandparents have taught us to our parents, and now we're like this.
They suppress their feelings.
And then she repeated it again. I was like, girl, you already said it like 2 times. And I couldn't talk deeper to my feelings about it.
Okay, go and talk to your feelings.
I think this is why people edit, because they talk too much.
Which is very, very good.
But anyways, do you have anything else you want to wrap up?
No, because now I feel ashamed.
Why do you feel ashamed? Why?
Just let me talk.
I let you talk for a whole hour. All I did was give the topics, and then you answered them everything. What was I supposed to do? I only talked like 10 minutes.
Because you didn't have any input.
Damn it, because you took up all of the space. You were like, all this, and all that, and all this. What the fuck do you want me to do? Yeah. Anyways.
You have any input on mental abuse?
I just told
That's
you. It's sad. I can't explain anymore.
Whatever. That's fine.
Anyways, I don't know if I'll make a part 2 of this. Actually, I don't think so. I think I'm just going to post this whole episode on on Spotify. So, yeah, I'm so sorry. We probably yelled so loud to the microphones. I'm so very sorry about that. But
so sad. No solution.
Shut the. Anyways, I hope you guys
just move out.
Stop. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Please share and like, and yeah, share these podcast episodes, because it really helps us out. And also, we're having fun, and we want more listeners to listen. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have any of these issues inside of your household, you have 2 options: fix it or move out. Thank you.
Yay! Okay.
How do you think you should fix these?
I'm not answering. I'm your host, MJ. This is your host,
Marjorie Ann.
and we are out. Bye.